Good morning. So I'm Will from Brightwells Classic Cars, Department Head. We're here in the final week before the catalogue closes, ahead of the March the 27th and 28th sale, the 27th being the traditional classic sale, the 28th being our new online garage sale for predominantly 1980s plus cars. So there's a few interesting cars in the barn this week. It'll keep growing until the sale closes. So here we've got a 1960 Fiat 600. It's been in sole ownership for 30 years plus. Lovely little 633cc engine, air-cooled, fantastic little thing. Different to the traditional 500, which we've got one here as well. Next to us, we've got a lovely Lotus Elise Series 1, long-term ownership, done 49,000 miles, 120 horsepower, but these are all about being lightweight and lots of fun with the Rover K Series engine, which loves to rev. So we'll keep going and have a look what else is in the barn. So here we have a really rare car. This is a 1971 Ford Capri 2000 XLR with the really rare 2-litre V4 engine, which produces 110 horsepower, finished in this lovely shade of tawny. The first owner had this 31 years, and famously his wife gave birth on the way to the hospital to their son, which is quite interesting. Luckily it's vinyl seats, not cloth. But what a lovely, cool car. It came from originally, after that, a collector in Donegal in West Island, who's a well-known client of ours and a really good bloke. And now it's up for sale some 10 years after he sold it for about 18 grand. What a thing. Ford people go nuts for stuff like this. Right, moving on to something quite interesting, best of British, one could say. 1989 TVR 280S. So this has the 3-litre Ford V6 engine, 5-speed manual transmission, rear-wheel drive, no driver aids, and the guy must think it's pretty good because he's owned it 3 times. Just had it recently resprayed. Front suspension's been overhauled and polybushed. Looks good, goes well, sounds good. What more could you want? And all for 6 grand. Fantastic. So dating from 1983, we have here the precursor to the XR3i, the Ford Escort Series 3 RS 1600i, a real hot cookie at the moment if you're a Ford fan or into your fast Fords. This car has got history dating back to 1984 when it covered just 995 miles. Now it's done about 134. Loads of history, cool looks, boxy design, retrimmed interior. What's not to like? Estimated at about 15 grand, which seems good money for one of these, considering that some of them are fetching up to sort of mid to late 20s. Get bidding. So dating from 1969, we have this barn find MGC, imported from Dry State, New York. Well, they call it Dry State, it's dry in summer, definitely not in winter. MGC with a 3-litre straight 6. It's been in the large private collection since, awaiting restoration. It just never happened. But what a cool thing, look at that, it's come with all its authentic dust on. Underneath we've got the big 3-litre straight 6, as found in the Austin Healey and a few other vehicles. Loads of potential with this, because when this is done, it's worth between 20 to 25,000 pounds. Looks good value at 4.5 grand at the moment, I think. Look at it, comes with free dust. So here we have a 1968 Fiat 500F, a really unusual and nice thing being a UK supplied right-hand drive car with its fantastic little 500cc engine and manual transmission. But look how small it is. People must have been a hell of a lot smaller in the 60s. I'm not sure you'd get 5 modern Brits in here these days, but certainly 4 people at a push or a couple of kids in the back. But interesting car, first owners for a long time, and then it moved to Stroud, where it was lived for another 20 years, and then we sold it to its current owner in 2020. And unfortunately, they've only done about 500 miles in it, so it's back for sale. But what a lovely thing. It's had 1,500 quid spent on it recently, new bumpers, light lenses, shrouds, etc., some chrome work. And prior to that, had a full body restoration. What a lovely thing, only showing 52,000 miles, which we believe is genuine, looking at the history and the ownership. But what a great thing, estimate 8 to 10. Get involved, get bidding, what a lovely thing for a summer adventure. And it's easy to get in and out of, providing you're not the size of a house, because it's rather much smaller than that. So also in our March the 27th and 28th sale, we have a nice selection of old Land Rovers, Series 2s, 3s, and if we walk up here, an early Suffolk A Range Rover, and a lightweight. People always like the lightweights or the ex-commercials. This one looks quite interesting, also affectionately known as Wilbur. Interesting colour scheme too. Basically, the newer these got, the more usable and drivable they became, with slightly less wandery steering and a little bit less raw. And then interestingly, we go all the way up to a 2010 Range Rover Sport 3-litre TDV6. Not a traditional classic, you might argue, but it's in our online garage sale. And interestingly, this car's had £22,000 worth of Carn project car and accessories and upgrades when it was new. The wheels have since been changed. Originally it had 22s, but the ride is so hard on 22s, they're easy to crack on Herefordshire's pothole roads. Take note, Herefordshire Council, not good enough. Inside we've got a two-tone interior, but it's quilted and stamped with Carn everywhere, and a lot of the body kit and stuff like that. So we'll come around and have a look inside. So this is on sale in the online garage, which finishes on the 28th. And interestingly, this used to be my own car. I sold it 6 years ago, and it's back in. So the reserve now is £4,000, which seems really good value. It's done 101,000. Loads of potential, apart from the disgusting rate of road tax. But there we are. You make that choice when you buy it. So one of the interesting upgrades on this car is the addition of this rear ducktail spoiler, I think, which is about 800 quid plus VAT. Useful as a coffee holder or an elbow holder should you be stood watching Cheltenham races in your rented suit for the day, for example, which is on at the moment, the Gold Cup. Another interesting thing here, we have a 2007 Jeep Wrangler. Interestingly, the roof comes off this and the doors, so you can go completely topless in all senses of the word. Nice big wheels and tyres. This is a cool vehicle, in at 15 grand. If you want to look at it from the front, quite an imposing vehicle, particularly next to the white Range Rover. A lot of money's been spent on optional extras on this. The door hinges, these lights, all this sort of stuff. It's an eyeful of a car for sure. Also in the online garage sale, finished on the 28th, unlimited. 20-inch wheels made by V-Rock from America. What a wheel. Certainly won't get stuck in those, and it's got big adjustable shock absorbers and a suspension lift as well. Quite a cool thing. Okay, so here we have another little interesting car, quite literally little, 1926 Austin 7, known as a top hat saloon, little 747cc engine. Look at the colour and the conditions, fantastic, loads of period and early features, lots and lots of fun. You can do all sorts of things in this, and amazingly you can fit 4 people in it. Again, possibly not all of the modern Brits in society, but if you're slightly built, you'll be fine. And then behind us here, a brand new unregistered motorbike, not even been used. We offer all sorts of Brightwells. Okay, so now looking at a couple more modern classics. These are both in our online garage sale, which finishes on Thursday the 28th of March. We've got here a BMW E30 from 1991, a 325, the most coveted version, mated to a manual gearbox. All important, it is the most desirable combination. The only way you can get better than this is if it's a tin top, i.e. not a convertible, and it's a sport. But still, 325, manual convertible from long-term ownership. What a lovely car. Guy's been all over Europe in this. Really good news, these things. And next to it, the 90s policeman's favourite. In fact, this is owned by an ex-Roser who used to work at Brightwells. He's loved these cars and coveted them since driving them as an undercover cop in the 90s. This is the 5-cylinder turbo T5R from 1995. There's a few upgrades to this car, so it's about 300 horsepower, we reckon, and finishing the classic gold yellow. These are really hot news, very rare to find. Manual gearbox, original right-hand drive UK car, not a Jap import, black leather interior. These go well and are worth good money, solid investments. 850 T5R, manual transmission, as we said, done about 144,000, on offer for about 10 grand. And the vendors put it on one of the forum groups, and it's got loads of excitement already because they're so rare to come up, particularly in gold yellow. That's the number plate depicts. So get involved, 10 grand, what a lot of car. 90s boxy goodness, epic. Okay, so also in the sale today we have a 1975 FJ40 series Land Cruiser. It doesn't get much sexier and cooler than this. This is a later car with the 2F 4.2 litre naturally aspirated straight 6 with manual transmission. This is coming from Indonesia, so it has air conditioning and is right-hand drive. Suspension lift, just beautiful, just UK registered. What a fantastic thing. Come and have a look inside. Look at that, 3-speed manual box, air conditioning, bench seat so you can get through and the canvas roof as well, so you can take the sides off on the hot weather and the doors if you want. Not sure how fast I want to go in these tyres though, they look a bit possibly not built for Britain's wet roads. Love it. So talking about Land Cruisers, if the older one's not your thing, there's the more modern version here. This is a 51 plate with only 64,000 miles on it. Again, 4.2 litre but diesel in this. Lovely thing. Most of these are really leggy with high mileage. This is uncommonly low mileage and in it 16 and a half. The last one we sold that was similar made over 20. But on the topic of these old FJ40s, they're making resto mod versions in the States. And in the States, again, versions like this regularly make $100,000. So at sort of 26 grand plus the fees, this looks like incredible value. So if there's anything that's taken your fancy, have a look at the Brightwells catalogue website. It's on classic motoring on the Brightwells main website. You'll see there's 2 sales, March the 27th for the traditional classic, which finishes on Wednesday the 27th of March from 2 p.m. and the online garage sale for the sort of newer post-1980s cars or project cars, that finishes on Thursday the 28th from midday. The sale opens on Saturday beforehand with viewing day on the 25th and 26th, 9 till 5. Come and have a look. The catalogue will keep growing until Friday this week, and maybe a couple of things might go on over the weekend, but it's always a diverse sale. As we see here, we sell everything, covered in dust or not. Come and get involved. Don't forget to have a look at our socials, Instagram, Facebook, for some walk around videos, some comments and pictures and some lovely reels. And if there's anything you want to know more about, get in touch, email, phone or comment on socials. Thanks awfully.